For the second category, we have emotions and meaning.
It's a good one.
Jaclyn, what's a belief or mantra that gives your life extra meaning?
Oh my gosh. What a beautiful question. I guess like a mantra I think of a lot is that I guess it's not necessarily a mantra, but just how we're here to share life with others. Like it's not necessarily, there's not like a saying that comes to my mind, but it's something I think about a lot is that like joy is greater shared and like every impact is greater when shared. And so not thinking necessarily from a selfish me perspective, but like I think sometimes in society nowadays we become very like an individualistic society. Like we're focused on me and I and what I need and what I can do and what serves me versus like we, like in terms of talking about a community and a collaborative society. I think that's inherently what we're supposed to be doing. And true joy can come from community. And so I think often something that comes to my mind is like, how can things we have be magnetized through sharing and community? And so it's as simple as, instead of like staying in one night, like, how can we, without it being like a big thing, like maybe it's how can you share your time with casually with some people you really love, or sometimes even just doing activities. Like I think older me was very used to doing things alone. Like I'm quite independent. I've kind of had to be in some ways, but then I realized I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm very extroverted, but I can be independent. So at times I would just find myself in this rhythm of like doing things more alone, like things that I love doing. But then I've started to think like, okay, what can I do that helps to bring others along and we can like share this experience together, and it's greater and more joyful when shared. Like any emotion is greater when shared or lighter when shared. Like even grief or sorrow can be lighter when shared, but joy can be greater when shared as well. And so I just said shared so many times, but at the end of the day, I think about how can we create more of like a cohesive like we community versus like a more individualistic community space.
I can't help but ask a follow up question about this because each time I sit down with women entrepreneurs, women with a vision, I started to notice patterns and topics that come back. And one of them is creating boundaries. So, what you're expressing is different from what I've heard previously. So, I'm curious if maybe you have in place a way to fill your cup that allows you to spend more time with other people. I don't know
Yeah.
where I'm going with this.
No, I think that's so fascinating.
How do you recharge versus give back to others?
Great question. Yeah, and I do agree, like, boundaries are so important. Like, even if you asked me this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have really, like, understood the importance of boundaries. But I think there's a balance and a fine line of, like, protecting your peace versus serving and spending time with others, whether through business or, like, personally or professionally, I would say. But I feel like how I'll respond is like from a business perspective, like if I get a full body yes to something, like if I get an opportunity or like an event opportunity or collaboration, I want like to have a positive response physically to that. Like get excited, can imagine that feeling a full body yes, as I said. So that's how I'll discern what's the right fit for me in terms of a professional sense. And that sometimes means saying no or not right now to certain opportunities or even business friends or acquaintances that I've met along the way, because I don't want to show up as a version of myself that's either like resentful or spread too thin or saying yes to something out of guilt or obligation versus this is a great fit for us to collaborate on and it's going to support both of our businesses. Sometimes the right answer is not right now, or maybe later, or I want to support you in other ways by showing up to the event instead of being part of it. So there's always different kind of judgment calls there based on like so many other external factors. But I do agree that that's necessary, because if we're spread too thin, then like nothing gets moved along forward, right? Like no, there's no progress made because we're trying to move all the barriers along at the same time and nothing gets kind of shifted forward because we are only one person with only so many hours in the day. And then even personally, like I mentioned, I'm an extrovert, but I think anyone needs alone time at times. And so for me, it comes down to like doing activities that really light me up, but then integrating people where it makes sense. So kind of having that balance. But I also feel like in summer, like we're at the time of this recording, it's the height of summer, and I think it's okay to have seasons. Like in summer, I feel more social and more out there and wanting to be more involved in things, and it's okay in different seasons to kind of like turn inwards a little bit more as well. So just kind of having that intuition along the way to see what serves best. But boundaries are very important. We definitely need them for the short term and for the long term. What about you?
First, this is a great tip to lead with a physical sensation that it's a full body yes. So the question was, what's a belief or mantra that gives your life extra meaning? For me, it's what comes back often is one step at a time.
Beautiful.
Of course, it just invites me to slow down because I think a lot of people have so many ideas and a grand vision that requires a lot of efforts and also then a lot of time. But at some point, it becomes overwhelming because even if you make big moves and little rewards come back at the moment because good things take time, then this disappointment can come, and this is where my mantra reminds me to move slowly with purpose and to be patient with myself. That just like you said previously, there is time.
It's so beautiful. I really resonate with that as well.